Hey, 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 hey. What's up? What's happening? What's good, y'all? It's your girl KB. You know what I do and you know why I do it. It is Monday. As you can tell by the look on my face, it is definitely Monday. It's 3 or 4 in the a.m. and it's July 21st. This is the week, y'all. This is the birthday week. Thursday is my actual birthday. And for me, I am officially old. I was officially old some years back. But my mind, I'm youthful in my mind, let me put it that way. And I still think I can do the things I did as a kid. I still have that youthful thinking. Although now I have moments of what was I doing and what was I saying? You know those moments, or when you're looking for your glasses and they're on your head, or you go into a panic because you can't find your phone and you're talking on it. Yeah, all that. And I know you guys are identifying with me because we all leave the house and pat ourselves down to make sure we have our phone. What did we do before we had these stupid things? You know, I had the huge brick phone. I've had pagers. I've even had people ask me, are you a dope dealer? Because I had a pager. You know, because all black people are dope dealers or ne'er-do-wells. Yeah. Let that sink in. That somebody thinks they can ask you that first and foremost. And secondly, it, just the audacity. I just, have you no shame? Bottom line, that's how I feel. Some of the things that we ask and that we do, have you no shame? I'm saying all this to say, this was my thought for this morning as I walked from my car to the office. Now we have this broad spectrum of a definition for Christianity. And the majority of it is not Christ-like. So, what is it to be Christ-like? That was my next question, because I'm always asking the question behind the question, which irritates the heck out of people. But that lets you know if they're lying. If somebody told them this information, if they've ever read anything about what they're talking about, or are they quoting the almighty they? As in they say, and I just said it. The almighty they. You got to show me some receipts when you're talking to me. That's why I'm always asking questions. That's what my job entails, asking questions. And you ask it different ways to get the real information behind what needs to be said. Now, getting back to the definition of Christianity, what is it? And it's to be Christ-like. I know back in the day, and I still have it. This is my key lanyard. W.W.J.D. And I used to have a metal key fob that had W.W.J.D. on it. I know it's hidden somewhere in my house, but what would Jesus do? And I started thinking a little bit more beyond that. And it's like we have a moral / spiritual obligation to challenge injustice. For me, that's what it means to be a Christian, to be Christ-like and to challenge injustice. You have an ethical responsibility, a moral and ethical responsibility to your brother or sister. Do you let them go on in their ways? knowing that it's going to lead to destruction? Or do you say, hey, look out, there's a train coming? You know, most of us are content with the train wreck, so we can say that we were there and we saw it, and we can tell stories about, you know, what transpired when the train wreck happens. And that's a sad state of affairs. Then there's a faction of us that won't say anything. We won't even watch. You know, we know the state of something, but we don't stand for anything. And then you want to call each other friends. My friends want the best for me. The people who love me want the best for me. They don't lie, they don't gaslight, you know. And I had to wake up to the fact that, you know, I was an option for somebody. An option based on how they saw me, how they valued me, you know. And it was a rude awakening. Now, if I am, hear me out, if I am rude in any way, shape, form, or fashion, it's because I see this train wreck as being imminent. And I'm trying to get you to pay attention before the impact. You know, I've been subtly, hey, look at what don't, you know, it's like dealing with a toddler. When you keep, hey, maybe, you know, you eventually find yourself snapping. Now, yes, I have to work on my patience when that's concerned and where that's concerned. But I don't want you to get hurt. So we have a moral, spiritual, and ethical obligation to be Christ-like as we identify as Christians. And I'm going to pose this question. Do you see any of that in play by the people who are yelling it? And then ask yourself, why are they yelling it? And last but not least, I'm going to tell you what I've told every client that I've ever encountered over the years. If you find yourself declaring out loud, yelling, you know, my favorite is when somebody says, I'm a grown blank this, and I retort, if you will, no, you're not. Because if you were, you wouldn't have to yell that. People would recognize it. That part. And see, that's why I am considered a heretic, a troublemaker, a rabble-rouser, a noisemaker, a rebel, you know, whatever. That's why I'm considered that, because I'm going to challenge you every step of the way. But I see the walk not matching the talk. Now, for those of you who follow me, you know I come in announcing my faults, flaws, and frailties. You don't have to call me out on anything. I'll tell you about it, which I'm getting ready to do in the next video. But for me, W.W.J.D is a lifestyle. For me, I may not always get it right, but I can be held accountable. I can apologize, a sincere apology. Not, you know, I'm sorry because it's the polite thing to do. A sincere apology that is targeted to the specific incident that separated us. And To piggyback on top of that, if I cut you off, and you're saying, oh, that's a lie. If I cut you off, you're not healthy in any way, shape, or form for me. I saw something. It's deeply ingrained. It's not my job to change it, but I know I don't need to be around it. Peace, two fingers.